Here we go. Metal Gets Me High, episode 6. Me, Al, my co-host, Brad and Razor, and we have a very special guest today. Our first guest, we have Romel.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
What's up,
Romel? Good to see you guys.
You too.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since I had
it has, but it's good to see you. I'm excited to catch up. For people that probably don't know, I would probably say, and you'd probably say, right, you dabble your toes in the metal, but you're probably not a diehard from what I would think, right?
Probably not a diehard, but I definitely have a pretty wide variety, I think, that I like out of rock music in general, metal specifically too. I mean, there's so much of it out there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so we talk about that. There's such a contrast where it's like, in what genre is Baroness, Deftones, and Cannibal Corpse, the same genre of music, but it is,
It is the same
what?
genre. Yeah, that all sounds so different.
That's so weird.
And I'm just gonna start with asking, like, as someone who likes metal, what does metal kind of mean to you, man?
Well, one thing I can say is that out of all the music that I listen to, like dance, hip hop, EDM, I like metal. I don't need anything for it to get me high. Like it's very enjoyable without any mind altering substances.
Like being inebriated like Ramon 24/7?
Yeah.
I'm the opposite spectrum.
It's really like when you had mentioned, or you showed me a band. I forgot what it was. I think it was the Rivers Nile one. Yeah.
Rivers of Nile.
Rivers of Nile.
Yeah, awesome.
Brad's got his shirt on.
I do got my Rivers of Nile shirt. I need to get one of those now, man. That looks good on you.
Thank you. It's a little tight, but it's all right.
What's kind of cool about Rivers of Nile for me and Brad specifically, like one of the first harder shows that we went to, we saw them, and like they were a band we didn't know about going into it, and we've caught them twice post knowing what they are, who they are, what they bring to the table. And like I remember the first time seeing them, the thing that really caught my attention was their bass player. Their bass player was like, it was one of the first times going to a concert where I was like, I could see and hear the bass player, and I was like, that sounds fucking sick, because think about hip hop, like, or just dance music in general, like the bass is the most important thing.
Yeah, exactly. When I listened to that song that you sent, I think it was the Silent Life.
The Silent Life, yeah.
Yeah. It made me think about how rock like makes me feel like it doesn't make me really want to dance, or it's like rock in general just makes me feel like it's a cry to bear arms, or like to take action. It's like
that's a great way to put it.
It like builds up a ball of energy in my gut, and it just like the performers on stage are just like pulling that energy out of you. Like I get a knot in my throat just thinking about it, because it's so intense. And maybe it's just that energy that's trying to get pulled out of my body, because these fucking puppet masters on stage,
they're pulling on the strings. They're pulling the right strings, man.
Bro. Like it's crazy how like the music can really affect the human sensibility in a very primal level. It's very cool. You lose control. Well, I do, at least. They control the masses and just put them in like a sort of violent trance. It's wild. The energy in those shows.
Chaos. That's the way we describe it every time.
Like when we go to shows, like there's a camaraderie where it's like, hey, like it's a release, but like you're not here to hurt people, man. Like this is just to have fun and like let go, and kind of something that's a very tight knit community because there's not many people. It's not, you know, in the masses like a lot of other genres are.
Yeah.
Shout
Exactly.
out to Who the Duck Are You? First live viewer right there. Hell yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
First live viewer. Let's
Woo!
Go.
Number
Shout
one.
out.
You know what I gotta do? I gotta take a rip for that one. We got our first viewer.
And Ramon stays inebriated, folks. He just can't let off.
Kind of where I wanted to go with this is have you ever experienced a metal show live?
Yeah, of course. You know, which brings me to that whole like just the way it makes me feel, because you know when I went to a show live, it's one thing to hear like the bands over like an album or, you know, in your headphones and shit, but like some of these singers have like incredible voices when you see them live. Like I don't know what his name is, but the singer from Disturbed really blew me away. Like he sounds like a fucking opera singer, like
David
Draymond.
Yeah.
That, you know what, as much, because you know, we kind of, they're definitely an intro to metal band.
Yeah.
No, but
sure.
listen, that guy has some pipes on him. That guy
Yeah.
can do everything. You know, as much as people shit on him, that guy, the guy has he's
they're big for a
undeniable.
reason.
Yeah,
he's
they
undeniable.
are.
Like they're a very talented band, you know. They're like up there with kind of like the Linkin Parks, where like they're big for a reason. They're very talented. They write good songs. You know, it's heavy. It leans heavy, and you know it could get somebody to go into that rabbit hole of like, oh, what's hard? What's past this? What pushes this boundary?
Exactly.
So you know, like I think that's cool. That's a different perspective than maybe me, Brad, and Razor have, because you know we're a little in the trenches and some of the heavy stuff that we like, and it's cool to hear, you know, somebody who's, you know, not as deep into that, you know, because it takes a certain kind of person to check out certain bands.
Absolutely. Yeah, that brings, that kind of makes me think about like other bands that are like easy to listen to as like an intro. Like I feel like Five Finger Death Punch is like one of those bands too. Like they get a lot of hate, obvious. I think so.
Yeah,
but, they are very hated. Yeah,
but this is the thing. We all started with them. Well, that was one of the bands that got me into heavy music. You know,
and I honestly, they were a band where like I found them at the perfect time. Where like I was starting to get into heavier stuff, and in their first two albums, there are heavy things, and I lean more towards those than, you know, the Bad Companies, the more popular stuff. But I was like, oh, what are these deep cuts where he's just screaming and there's double bass, there's heavy riffs, and you know, like I think that's good for the scene. I tell people all the time that like it's good to have these gateway bands, because like a band that I like to say is probably my favorite gateway band that I feel like is pretty accessible, is I feel like Bring Me the Horizon, because you know they're in the same realm, I'm gonna say, as like a Linkin Park. Like they're kind of that big. They make songs like literal pop stars, and you know they're fronted by like, you know, a better looking dude, and I think that goes a long way, obviously, to some extent, but like they're really talented, and they're the type of band you're gonna go to their first album, and if you like what you hear, that, you know, MySpace deathcore, that's gonna bring you to Suicide Silence, Whitechapel, those like prime MySpace deathcore bands. So I'm like, I'm all for these gateway bands, man. That's you don't come out of the womb listening to Cannibal Corpse, you know.
No, not
you
at
build
all.
your way up to it. Yeah, you don't go from eating a fucking jalapeno to a Carolina Reaper. You know, you build your way. You build your way up to that shit.
And if you do, you regret it on the toilet, bro. One way or another. It's
one thing that like kind of to go on that is, I remember the first time I listened to Cannibal Corpse. What I would do sometimes like my parents would take me to Borders or like Barnes and Noble. Back then they had CDs and they had those little scanners, and you'd listen to stuff. So
like,
I remember I was one of those kids where like I'd go to the CDs, I'd go to the metal section, I'd find like, you know, the more brutal looking stuff, and I'd play it, and I'd like it's kind of scary, and I like quickly take it off and try to find something else.
Go look for some census fail or something.
No, not even.
Some
I'm
little,
like,
little lower.
I'm like trying to listen to like at this point, I'm probably like 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that range. So I'm probably listening, looking for like
Blink.
for some Green Day, maybe some like some Metallica, or I would go with them, or like some Godsmack, Disturbed, something more like, you know, rock. I'd go to listen to.
Yeah, good band, man. Good band.
You
Oh,
know,
man,
dude,
the goats.
we discuss this all the time, and like Metallica, their first 4 album stretch, that's holy grail metal, man. Like it doesn't get any better than that. And there's stuff close to that. Obviously, it's always going to be debatable, but that is some good music as far as songwriting and everybody playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's musicianship. Yeah, I mean,
only if they had a fucking drummer.
I was,
You know,
me too.
but here's the reality with that is they would never be as big if it wasn't for Lars. Lars was always the businessman. So
he's the seller.
And hey, they're a gateway band, and you know what? Their last album, I give them props because they tried to go back to being heavy, and I think that was like that took some guts. You know what I mean? People were probably like, "Hey, you should just keep making rock or like do covers," and they're like, "Hell no, let's put our foot on the accelerator again."
Yeah, fuck yeah. They said,
I mean, James is a
they're
guy
gonna do what they want.
Yeah, I feel like James is a guy where I don't know if he has that much time left in the rock world, just based on his health and how he treats his body, and he's like a 60-year-old man, and he's still going through withdrawals of fucking drinking and cocaine and stuff like that. So you never know how much longer Metallica is going to be around, and they're definitely one of the founding fathers of metal.
James, the singer, right?
The singer in the right
James
hand.
the singer. Yep.
Yeah. How old is that guy? Let's see.
He's got to be close to 60s.
Yeah, they're in the mid to late 50s.
He kind of looks good for his age.
Yeah, no, he looks good, but there's some miles on that body.
And you got to think like
there's some miles on that shit.
Back then they were playing fast. Yeah, back then they were playing really fast, so like it's probably hard to keep up that speed as you get older and be tight with it.
Absolutely.
What are some other bands that you would consider important to, or like maybe even songs or albums that as far as metal that maybe evokes an emotion or something?
Definitely Slipknot, bro. Obviously,
heck
Slipknot. I think like Duality was a great one. Nero Forte.
Nero Forte is hard.
Nero Forte is a great song.
That's a great song.
Yeah, man. I think they're great, man. I mean, I got them tattooed on me. I love Slipknot, so I'm with you on that.
yeah, right. Which I think is pretty heavy, but also easy to listen to is Mastodon. Like they're super melodic and just the voice, the whole energy. Yeah, the riffs are just wild. I think the Motherlode is probably my favorite song of theirs.
Motherlode is great.
Yeah, that's a great album too. Speaking of which, funny you kind of bring that song up from that album. Is I saw somebody today with when I was on the stair climber with one of Razor's dream tattoos, which is that album cover. Once more, Round the Sun on his arm, and I was like, dude, that is like it really stood out. It was sick, man. It was cool. I was like, oh, there's some metal in the public, man.
Hell yeah! Did you spot it out on him?
Yeah, that album cover looks fucking great. I should buy this shirt, to be honest. It's just
that's my favorite metal shirt.
Razor gets compliments every time he wears it.
I wear
at
it.
the show.
I wear it to shows all the time. Yeah.
I'd be surprised if you didn't get compliments all the time with using that. You probably have like a few boyfriends out of it too, huh?
Hey, I need to rebuy that shirt, dude. This thing is fading way too fast.
It's starting to look vintage.
Oh, it's vintage, exactly.
It really is.
Speaking of which, hold on. I got me a vintage shirt right here too. Hold on.
Oh shit.
I got that.
He is a little short, so he does attract a lot of dudes.
Limp.
That's
what is it?
Hard ass shirt.
Kill Switch Engage, yes.
Wow, that's a hard ass shirt.
It's so dope, huh? It's like anime style.
Dope as fuck.
That's a band that we'll probably see live. They're going to be coming to Fresno with Lamb of God, Motionless, and White, and Fit for an Autopsy. So I'll be stoked to see them. I actually haven't seen Kill Switch, and like, dude, one of my earliest. Too. Yeah, one of my earliest metal songs that I remember like being heavier that was on the radio where I was like, what is that? That's hard, was My Curse. It'd come on at like midnight, you know? Dude, like everything about that song. Oh no, that's yeah, this is My Curse. My bad. I don't know why I'm thinking but regardless,
he hits those high notes too. He's a great singer, man.
I mess with them with Howard and with Jesse, so they're sick band.
Definitely Team Jesse over here.
Yeah. Hey, where'd you get that shirt at?
Me at a Kill Switch show.
Dude, that is a badass shirt.
That's cool.
Yeah, I saw them. It's fucking wild, dude. At that show, like I'm telling you, bro, I lose it at these shows, and I don't even drink. Yeah. Like if I drink, I'll run out of breath because like all the alcohol is keeping me from wanting to jump around. And like, there's 100%. Like a pit going on, and this huge like 300-pound looking dude is just like just in the center, just like, you know, doing his thing, right?
Going the opposite ground.
And then I don't know what got a hold of me, but I just climbed on this dude's back, and I'm like, I'm like riding him like a fucking bronco, and then he just flips forward, slams me on my back, and was like, oh my gosh, bit my tongue, all bloody. I get up, dude, or I look at him, and I'm just like, oh, and he's like, he reaches over, he's like, helps me back up. And I'm like,
that's the camaraderie, man.
That was cool.
Yeah,
that's metal right there,
man.
Yeah,
it's all good. The singer of Mushroom Head used me as a fucking prop to stand on one time.
Yeah,
and you know what? The sun doesn't rise
anymore.
And the whole time at Mayhem Fest during that song, he was standing on my shoulder, just fucking doing that song right in front of me. It was fucking awesome.
How the hell does that happen, bro?
Dude, me and Brad, because me and Brad were 18-year-old kids, and like we're dying to go to Mayhem, bro, because like we're gonna see our first dose of like some heavy shit. So we're stoked. We get there early, bro. We get there before doors open. We're waiting in line, and like dude, one of my favorite sets that I remember from that show was we were like so close for Suicide Silence, and that was their first tour with Eddie as their new singer.
Yeah.
And I remember like at this point I'm heavy into deathcore, and seeing them was so sick to me at the time. I was like, I've never seen anything heavier, and I hadn't at that point probably.
Yeah, I remember maybe the second time we went to Mayhem Fest, and you know I always take this for granted actually, that just seeing Cannibal Corpse and hearing them, and then being like, man, I don't really know about this band, and walking away to knowing what I know now, and how much further I've progressed in the metal I listen to. Yeah, it does hurt my heart.
Well, that hurts my heart was Amir. I really wish I would have seen Amir back then, man. Like, what was I thinking?
What's my favorite song by them? Is it like something Master Lord?
Shinjoku Master Lord.
Yeah, Shinjoku Master Lord. That fucking song goes so hard right there. If I hear that song, don't be around me.
Dude, I'm with you. And what I love about Amir is like they've always had like tight production in their stuff. So like that's why I'm a big fan of Amir. Like I think like just production to me sometimes is in metal is like, because I don't like it to be like too good of production. Like I think with metal you have to have a certain level of rawness to it. And I definitely I think they hit that perfect where it sounds good, but like it still has a metal, like, you know, like to it.
Yeah, it definitely has the to
it.
Yeah. I think that was the first time I ever seen someone with their whole arm tattooed black.
Yeah.
You know? I can't remember. Maybe it was the guitarist or something like that, but I was like, wow, that's a thing where someone tattoos their whole arm black.
Dude,
yeah, crazy.
Makes you wonder if he worked up to that, or if he had something he regretted under it. You know, like
just his whole arm.
Shit. Like when he was a teenager, just like fucking tic-tac-toe or Connect Four.
Oh, man. Shit you can't make up, right?
Right.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I'm pretty stoked. Just a side note is a band that we always talk about, The Bog. I have bamboozled my girl. We're gonna go to Vegas. My first time as an adult to go to Psycho Las Vegas Festival in August. To go to night one because Emperor is headlining, and I mean they're on my back patch on my war vest.
They're on the ticker too. I mean they may not be around for too much longer.
And they're European bands, so I'm gonna catch a lot of these European black metal bands I probably wouldn't be able to catch in our area. But I'm excited for that, and then I get to see the Beast from Cleveland, Sanguish Sugarbog, dude.
That's such a. That name always throws me off. It sounds like my mom trying to say sandwich or something. I love her, but she's got that accent.
100%.
What I love about them is just how disgusting they sound, and I hope they sound that disgusting in person.
Where's that show going to be at in Las Vegas?
At the Mandalay Bay.
Oh, I've been there. The aquarium is wild, bro. Those
I've
sharks,
heard about it. I've heard it.
Oh my god, I was tripping so hard one time when I went there. I could have sworn the Komodo dragon was talking to me, bro.
Oh,
it looked like it had like one of those from the Arabic term, I don't know what they're called, but basically like Aladdin. Looking like Aladdin, right? Coming from Saudi Arabia, and he's just looking at me, and we're talking telepathically. And then all of a sudden, I see myself talking to this salamander at 64 years old, and then he's like, "This is where you die." And then I come back to my reality. I'm just like, "Holy shit! I lived to 64, and then I talked to a salamander."
Dude, that is crazy.
That sounds like a great fucking time.
All I have to say is sweating bullets.
Straight sweating bullets. So I guess we could segue into this because this isn't just metal. This is metal gets me high. What's your relationship with marijuana? And then in addition to that, like, tell us about your first time getting high.
Ramon, very beautiful.
Nation.
Well, my relationship with marijuana has drastically changed over the years.
Okay.
I was first introduced to it when I was in 6th grade, and
nice.
And then I started selling it at 7th grade. so obviously right off the bat, I loved it. I wanted to be around it. I wanted to be a part of it in any way I can, and support it in every way I can, which is spreading the good word of weed.
Yeah.
But also participating in it. But towards like the end of my high school career, it turned its back on me. Like it started like making me feel like there was earthquakes every time I got high. I just got paranoid, and the world would start shaking.
Oh yeah, see that's
you gotta stop. That's a sign,
Yeah, it was definitely a sign. But now I enjoy edibles. And watch movies while very high.
Yeah, and you know what, the thing with edibles, I'm sorry, I think I'm cutting out a little bit, but the thing with edibles is they hit so differently than weed. I mean, they are a little bit more psychoactive, so they 100% every time I do an edible, it just leans on the psychedelic side. You do get that weed high, but it's yeah, and there's some I can't ever remember what it is, but Joe Rogan always talks about the how it gets converted some way
into your liver
differently. Yeah. So and it's like 10 times more psychoactive than regular weed. Yeah. So
the last time I ate
edibles are way
edible,
different. Yeah, edibles are way different than weed.
What was that, like 7 years ago, the last time I ate a real edible? And I just remember it being like to the point where like I don't want to be high anymore. Like,
I've been there before.
I'm like,
how do I turn around?
Dude,
I'm sleep it off.
Yeah, I'd like, I feel like I could smoke pretty good as far as just constant flower or dabs. I could hang. The only thing that ever gets me to that point is like, man, I don't want to be high anymore. Is edibles. Like it's so weird. I could dome 10 blunts, like me and person or two, and be cool. I'll be like I'm chilling, man. I'm like Snoop Dogg, higher than the freaking giraffe's pussy. Higher than a fucking emperor, bro. Just out there. But I'll be like fairly coherent, but like I ate an edible and I'm just like, dude, like,
man,
why does it feel like everyone's looking at me? Just me and my girl at my house and our fucking cats, like
that's everyone.
Exactly.
Hey, like 2 weeks ago, I ate 120 milligrams and went golfing. That shit was great. That shit was great.
Oh, you made me snot out a booger.
Man, I was
getting
I was fucked up, fucking talking to myself while I was golfing. It was nuts.
That is so cool. That's
hilarious. Yeah, man, edibles are the only thing I could really do. I can't smoke because it's too harsh on my throat. Like I don't know. I can't take it anymore on my lungs. But
yeah, everybody gets to that point.
Edibles and vape, that's all I can handle for now. But it's plenty for me,
No, hey,
that's all you need.
It works. At the end of the day, you find what has worked best for you. And it's different for everybody. Everybody's different, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember back in. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Romel, what's your first metal experience?
First good one. Metal experience.
Whether it be a show or the first time you listen to metal, or
does Limp Bizkit count as metal?
Yeah, it counts.
Hell yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, Limp Bizkit counts.
To 2/3 of this podcast. Yes.
Fred Durst would fucking slap the shit out of you if you said that didn't count.
Dude, I'm a Limp Bizkit fan. I'm not gonna lie. I throw some shit on, man.
Chocolate starfish.
The hot dog flavored water.
Bro, that was literally. You know what's funny is that. Okay, well, yeah, I guess I can explain. That's my first experience. Back when I was in, I think middle school. I was stealing from the local Walmart and like selling their CDs, right? I would take a whole bunch, sell this, sneak it out, sell them at school.
Private shoppers, gotcha.
Exactly.
They got the fucking.
Bro, I got caught by one time too. It's terrible, but not that time. But one time I was looking through them. And I was thinking like, oh, this one looks interesting. It was that dude with the Adidas and the microphone. He's just like standing all cool.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, this looks like a pretty cool rap CD. I put it on, and he's just talking about chocolate, starfishes, and hot dogs, water, and I'm just
hot dog flavored water.
Weird, okay. And then wick roll. I'm like, holy shit, this kind of goes.
This is kind of cool.
This is pretty good. Literally, the next day, I went and bought their poster. I didn't steal it. I actually spent money. That was my first investment towards metal music. It was a Limp Bizkit poster of their album. Just the Adidas guy is like, sickest ever.
Looking down.
That's a good story for your first metal. And like
the only new era cap in metal, Fred Durst.
Exactly. Everyone else is dad hats and snapbacks. What's a funny metal memory I have? I have one metal memory with you, Romel, specifically, as back in the day, me and you would commute, and I'd fucking be sitting there smoking a blunt. Fucking, you're sitting there next to me, not smoking, just fucking listening to whatever bullshit I'm listening to, or on the phones with Brad and Razor, or fucking Carlos, whomever. And I remember one time, one of my favorite things on earth is I love smoking a blunt, listening to black metal when it's raining. It happened to be one of those raining days. And I remember specifically the song. I played, it's a cover. It's originally by Twisted Sister. And the cover is Dimmu Borgir.
Oh, my God.
Burn in Hell.
Such a great cover.
And I remember playing it, like blasting it. I'm sitting there fucking smoking my blunt. It's raining in California. And I remember it ended, and you're like, bro, that song was fucking terrifying.
It's a great cover,
bro. It absolutely was.
Dee Snider, the original singer of it, admits that's a better version.
It is a better version.
He's like, that was a way better version than what I did.
Agreed, man. That was a freaking that's a moment, you know. That's what I love about metal for me is I have some of those moments where I'm like, I remember that person, I dipped their toes in it a little bit.
No, you fucking dunked me, bro. You baptized me in
dude, in some straight Satan shit, man. Poor guy.
I came out like, oh. Yeah, that was wild, bro. It was cool too, because like you said, it was raining. And, you know, just being surrounded by the hills, have eyes, you know, it's just eerie feeling. And then, like, I'm just looking around while you're smoking and you're getting a little contact high, feeling a little scared. And you see, like, just cows on the hills. I'm just like, this is a pretty weird day.
Yeah. And you know what's cool about that song is, like, it's definitely not your normal black metal, like, you know, it's pretty known. Black metal is not easy listening. Like, even for me, I have to be in a certain mood to listen to it, but I delve my toes in it. And, you know, like that song for being a black metal song is like melodic enough to not like be like, dude, what is this absolute trash production that sounds like it was freaking recorded in the woods by somebody like who is not a proficient guitarist, you know, like
some guar looking motherfucker.
Yeah, fucking corpse paint, freaking
black hair, long hair.
No, that was a great song though. Yeah, absolutely. It was terrifying, but like it was one of those good scares, you know. It was great. I love that. I love that you played that on that kind of a day, rainy day. It was wild.
It was the perfect mood.
And you know what's even better is my favorite, like the best way for me to start a day is like if it's a rainy day and it's my day off, I'm immediately going to go to my local Starbucks that's like half a mile away. I get just some black coffee.
We call it a Nurgle.
We call it a Nurgle, just a black coffee. Our favorite metal freaking lead singer.
Nitro at that, right?
No. If I'm saying it's raining, bro, so I'm getting a hot pipe.
Hot black coffee. Woo!
A hot Nurgle.
Black coffee. I go to the local tweaker store, I call it, near me. I go buy some blunt wraps. I roll a blunt, and I just put on a black metal record, my vinyl player. Or I'll just play it like through the record player on my phone, Bluetooth, and listen to black metal. Just smoke that blunt and drink the coffee, and it's good, man. It's good for the soul. I don't want it all the time, but like in those moments, it's like, man, this feels good. I need this.
Yeah.
That's a good way to cap off the day right there, or
Definitely.
Start it off, whatever.
Start it off, yeah.
Start it off, right? Yeah.
We're kind of gonna come towards the end. We still got some time, but I kind of wanted to delve into just kind of plug you a little bit. You are the creator of NFTs, which is your crypto sloth society, man. So like, tell me how you got into that, and like
everybody check it out because they have some badass ones.
They are cool, man. Like it's really creative, and I think obviously there's a big interest in NFTs and cryptocurrency. So like, what made you feel so like passionate that you're like, you know what, I want to add to that, kind of how we want to add to metal. What brought you to that, man?
Well, I definitely had the time when I began doing that. You know, I was going through some rough times, but it actually helped me focus some of that energy towards something, and just seeing how explosive it became. You know, out of nowhere, it just blew up. You know, Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunks are just selling at $500,000. I'm just like,
it's crazy.
Maybe I can get in there. You know, And you know, my NFTs aren't the utilities aren't, you know, for like rich people who want to go party on a yacht or anything like that. My NFTs are geared more towards more towards I guess philanthropy. You know, it goes towards we donate a portion of the profits to help with sloths, because currently there are 2 species, I think, that are on the endangered list. So that's what I'm kind of gearing towards, is trying to do something about that, you know, because everybody loves a sloth. Nobody wants to see those
You
guys
can't
go.
hate a sloth.
Honestly, that's really cool that you're doing something like that. You know, that's awesome seeing somebody, you know, chase something that they think is cool. So I definitely applaud you on that.
It's a good outlet.
Yeah, I saw your Instagram page. You know, I followed you, and I was like, dude, this is such a great idea. Like, the sloth is such a perfect animal.
Yeah.
And the way that you change it up, and you have some awesome designs, you know, like one of my favorite ones is going to be it's a black metal. It's black metal as hell. It's a sloth with corpse paint and an upside down cross on his forehead with rainbow hair.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Razor sent me that.
That is sick. The most badass. Or the devil one you have. Yeah, man.
Yes. I love my favorite one is the Kenny one, bro. The Kenny one is so sick.
Kenny
one? It gets decapitated, dude.
Dude.
That is so cool.
Yeah. There he is. Right.
Kenny, and his head falls off and everything. It is there. It is. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, the sloth is such a perfect character, like character to play off of. You know.
Yeah, you got the rocker right there. There you go, rocking it out.
That's so badass.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Definitely gonna keep it going.
Yeah, might as well, man. Keep that shit going.
Yeah, it seems obviously like it you know, it takes time and effort, and you're putting it into something you sound passionate about. So you freaking keep rocking with that, because that's what matters, is putting your energy into something you like, you know?
Yeah, it's all about consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Like this, we've had a lot of hiccups with this, man. We have 6 episodes of the show, and we're probably on like week 13 or 14 of like figuring this out, bro. And it's been a disaster.
We actually started at the beginning of March is when we started this, and you know, it took a little bit of work. We started off, you know, in Ramon's garage, bringing my desktop computer over every week, and the garage. Finally just figuring things out. You know, it's all trial and error. If it were easy, everyone would do it. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed.
Oh, let's plug that, and anyone who's interested in some cool ass NFTs, go check out Romel's page, Crypto Sloth Society.
Yep, thank you. Crypto Sloth Society. Go join the club. Go join the society.
Save the freaking sloths, brothers.
Yeah, let's get slow.
Well, let's go to our transition now. What we do is at the end we want to each give a song about, you know, a metal song to somebody that maybe doesn't know about metal, maybe wants to try it out, maybe you casually play it for them, like wondering if it'll invoke any kind of emotion. So let's start with you, Romel. If you had to show some new ears some metal, what's the song you're going to take them to?
Man, well, there's one song that's super stuck in my head, and I guess it's pretty easy for somebody to transition to this if they kind of like dance music, but something heavy is Necro Goblin Con. No One Survives.
Yeah, dude.
That little break with
the
dance there. I got it right here. Hold on.
Yes, dude.
Let's see. Can you hear it?
Such a great. That's so badass. That's
cool,
a great pick right there.
Necrogoblicon's a sick band too, man. John Goblicon.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to his show. He has a talk show that's fucking hilarious.
It is. He's dressed up like the goblin and everything. Plays the part. It's so sick.
That's awesome.
Nice. I like that. That's a unorthodox but really cool and out of the box song. So I applaud you. That was totally left field for me. Let's go with you, Brad. What is your song that you're going to go ahead and dish out this week, man?
This is a song that I first heard live. I probably heard this song a lot of times on the radio or just scrolling through like Pandora back in the day. But when I heard this song live, it really hit different. And that's going to be Mud Shovel by Stained.
Good pick, man.
It was one of those songs where I was like,
that was one of the best shows ever.
Cool.
And we just listened to it. We didn't even like see Aaron Lewis
singing
live.
Yeah, we were just watching it from a screen, and it's on the other side of us at Aftershock.
And just hearing that, like a couple 100 yards away, it really carried well. And I feel like Stained is one of those bands where, it's a gateway band essentially, and it can really lead you different places. And that song right there, it's always on my my daily listen. Like I love listening to Mud Shovel. So that's my song for the week is Stained, Mud Shovel.
Oh yeah,
that's cool one, man. I like that. Now, Razor, let's go to you.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna have to go with man, I wish I could pick a whole album because I feel like Turnstile's Time and Space album. I've gotten a couple people into metal with that album, but I feel like if I could pick a song off of it, Generator by Turnstile. It's heavy, but it also has some. It's very melodic. They've got some really clean singing in it, and it just flows really well. Especially if you listen to it its entirety with the album. So Generator by Turnstile.
That's a sick one. They're cool. They're a cool young upcoming hardcore band. And anything adjacent to metal, including hardcore, is freaking good stuff, man. Good stuff.
And if anybody has a chance, check out their NPR Tiny Desk. They have a set on NPR Tiny Desk, and it fucking rips.
I've checked it out. That is actually a really cool video. I like it. It's because NPR Tiny Desk are like more pop, type artists, So it's cool that a smaller band like that gets a shine with that.
100%.
The song that I'm gonna leave everybody with, it's actually one that I sent to Romel. It is gonna be a harder listen, but I like to push people sometimes. And I'm gonna go with Rivers of Now, The Silent Life. I think for me, like what I love in metal is I love riffs, man, and it has just a tasty, beautiful, chunky riff that I think if you're into kind of like musicianship, you'll dig that. It's hard, but the singer, like when he's screaming, he enunciates really well, so it's like fairly easy to understand as far as the hardness goes. And I love how they go out in left field with a saxophone solo in it that's like, whoa, like this, how did they blend something like a saxophone that don't really consider something that's hard, but they make it hard, man. And it's just that whole album in general, Where Owls Know My Name, 2019 release, is one of my favorite metal albums since that year. That's something that's kind of in steady rotation since then because, as I talked about earlier, the production, it's perfect where it sounds so technical, like a tech death band in some areas, but then sometimes we'll get these blast beats and these tremolo picking where it sounds like a black metal and it sounds very raw. So I think I'd push somebody into that a little, and you're gonna get something out of it to some extent, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan after that. After you showed me that, definitely a fan.
See, I knew for somebody like you, you're a little bit, you've listened and you've got an open mind.
He's dipped his toes. His toes. You could push him a little bit on some stuff.
And I would go as far as saying that, in my opinion, I think of you as someone who just loves music in general. I know your main thing is dance EDM music. I know that's something you're pretty passionate about. So that's why it's easy to lend out something like that. Because I also sent you Sanguish Sugarbog, and like dude, that's not easy listening right there. It is
not. It's hard.
The way I describe
that's the grind right there.
Hey, that's a Carolina Reaper right there.
Yeah, the way that sounds to me, like the emotion that it evokes in me is it makes me feel like I'm shitting from my mouth, like I'm just. But like I love it
from your gut for sure.
Yes, man. Well, already, everybody, please go check out Crypto Sloth Society. Check out Romel, cool dude. Hopefully, we could have him on again at some point. And everybody, have a good one. Fucking go to shows, buy merch.
Stay metal.
Later.